Good evening. Welcome to another edition of African American and Africans, the talk show that proves without a shadow of a doubt that the so-called African didn't find, sorry, the so-called American didn't find his way. The so-called African American didn't find his way to America in the trunk of a ship. Today, this is something that we always talk about, is the confusion that goes on in our community. I don't know. Nobody told me. I don't know. Everything we think about and everything we do is always wrapped in confusion. Always. You can ask somebody who their grandparents is, they won't know. This is the normal African American. Tonight, I want to share a story with you from a sister, one of your sisters, who got caught up in one of these cults. There are so many of them: Christians, Muslims, Hebrews, Greeks. The so-called African American community is divided by at least 100 of them, probably 1,000. But it's one of the reasons we never get any unity in the community. Never. We can never agree on anything. We don't like, I might not like it because it's blue. You might not like it because it's red. And all this is from, we take on other people's ideologies. I've been talking to this sister for a few days now, and the shit she tells me is unbelievable what our people believe. And I want you, the audience, because my audience is kind of, they're not dumb. I like to pride myself on my audience by what they say to me. They analyze what's being told to them. And then they figure it out themselves, like an ant would, like a roach would. Figure it out. But somehow with us, somebody will tell us something, no matter how dumb it sounds, and we believe it. We predicate our lives on that. And those people have a lifelong of misery, and they pass that shit down to their children, and they think it's cool. This sister tonight is going to tell you what the Hebrew Israelites are. I mean, I already know what they are. They some full of shit niggas. You can't ask them a question and get an answer. They dress in the, I don't know what they call themselves doing on the corner. I think people like that, I think what the white supremacists do, they make bets. That's like a game to them, a little side game to them. And we played a role to perfection. And this is what we pass on to our children. So I want to introduce this sister to you. She's a former Hebrew Israelite. You can hear in her voice that she's pissed. Why? Because, as Stevie Wonder once said, when you believe in things you don't understand, your ass is suffering. To the African Americans ain't African group, I want to introduce you to Noga. Noga, how you doing?
Oh, everything is good over here.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm over here in Israel.
Israel. Now, when the Negroes over here talk about Israel, they talk about there's first heaven, then there's Israel. Is that how it is?
Well, I don't know where they got that from, above a whole lot of other things. But Israel is just a third world country desert, and I came here in '88 as a part of the Hebrew Israelite community. It's called the African Hebrew Israelite Community from Jerusalem under Ben-Ami Ben Israel, the spiritual leader of the community. It was through him that I made the trip over here, because he taught us that we was coming home. The Hebrew, the Black people in America are the lost sheep of the house of Israel, and in particular, the tribe of Judah. Carrie, I got some videos that's like 6 or 7 minutes long, and it's titled "Why We Left America," and Ben-Ami explains himself. And I want people to hear that, so that they could see what it was that attracted some of us to come here.
Okay, let's do this. Let's do this tonight. We'll do a couple of parts to this. Let's do the introduction tonight. And, I have some questions. I know some of the people in the chat might have some questions too. Let's do this because y'all, you're gonna trip off this shit. You're gonna trip off this shit. And we'll play those videos. We'll set it up where we can play the videos and we all watch them. Everybody watch them together so we can be vibing on the same high. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Thinking the same thing, and we can get each other's facial expressions, comments. We can get it, and we can learn from that also. Can we do it like that?
Yes, we can, because those videos, like once you hear what he's saying, right, to those that's uninformed about who they really are, it sounds like a good. It sounds good. It sounds like a good deal. And what he was basically saying was that it was like when he got his vision in the 60s, that was when there was a lot of riots going on, and Martin Luther King getting killed and Malcolm X and all of that. That's when the vision came to him, that from an angel Gabriel, that it was time for God's people to leave America, the land of their captivity, after 400 years, and go back to the Holy Land, Israel. The land that God had promised us, promised Abraham that he would give us. You know what I'm saying? And it was to say so we could build our own community over there, and it could be a government ruled by man that is ruled by God. Now, when I went over there, but before I went over there, I was a part of the Hebrew Israelites in Cleveland. I was living in Cleveland at the time as a teenager. And my mom, she brought me into the community, of course, because I was a minor. She came into the community, and then she brought me in the community. But, to me, stuff was making sense at the time is because, I was, I was searching. When I was 5 years old, I was asking, I had all these questions, in my head about why Black folks are being treated bad, and why these white folks here treating us bad, and the thing about us being in slavery coming from Africa and all of that. I was like, how? that didn't make sense to me as a kid, that they shipped all them people from a continent to a whole nother continent, and they supposed to know how to work the soil, know the environment, and all that kind of stuff, you know. But that's what everybody believed with all their heart, soul, and might, you know. And then we used to have classes every Sunday at the YMCA in the building, where some Hebrew Israelite members came and taught us every Sunday out the Bible, strictly out the Bible, proving to us, you know, by that scripture, Deuteronomy 28th chapter, 68th verse.
Okay, let me share this. Let me share this with the audience, because he just shared this with me. And as y'all know, I think the Bible is if you get past page one, not the first book, not the first chapter, page one. If you get past page one and you want to keep reading it, we have to question your standard. Check out this, and I've heard this before. I've heard this before, and it makes even less sense that I hear it tonight. And this is what, and I hear a lot of Hebrew Israelites around here say this, and I'm like, what that mean? Here's Deuteronomy 28:68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. See that thee, whereof thou, I get twisted in that. By the way thereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again. Why you gotta say no more again? And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondsmen and bondswomen, and no man shall buy you. That verse right there is the antithesis of slavery. If no man is buying you, this is what happens when we get into other people's culture, when we start getting into other people's ideology. Because see, the indigenous people of America, they didn't feel like that. They just paid attention to nature. They just followed nature. And we start reading their stuff, this Greek. You know, the Greeks are entwined with the Bible some kind of way. They translated it. We're into all these ideologies, and this is where we are today. This is where we are today, on dumb shit like this. And we teach this to our kids. And we'll beat their ass, put them out the house if they don't follow this. Amen? Amen?
That's right.
This is where the African American, the black, the Negro, all of these things that you want to, this is what we do. So don't get pissed off at me because I'm saying what I see. This is what we do to make our kids stupid, our grandkids dumb. And this and we have the nerve to try to tell somebody what to do. Sit your ass down, man. This is where we are. This is where we are. And this is just one. Go ahead, Rob. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so you know, I used to be Baptist. You know, when I was a kid, I went to church, and you know, my family, all we did was study out the Bible and talk about the Bible. You know, my aunts, my uncles, my mom, you know, and then we left that because we saw that was bullshit. You know, they go to church and all they concerned about is you being a lifelong member and you paying your dues and going to usher board meetings and stuff like that. And my mom was like, it's like all they want is money, you know. And then um, we started getting off looking at the Bible a little bit differently, where we was trying to understand the Bible. Now, you know, it has those different passages in there, and you trying to find out where you fit in the Bible. And because you know you've been taught that God loves everybody, right? But you see that the white people is being favored, you know, in society, and you dirt poor and you struggling, and you know, and the racism and poverty and all of that was going on and stuff like that. And so they was like, you know, we must, God must be favorable to us black folks somewhere in this Bible, you know. Then my uncle came across that scripture we just read, and that's how he came to the conclusion that, oh, okay, we being punished by God, you know, because we hard headed, stiff necked, you know, and you know, they had slavery, and you know, the Alex Haley, the Roots thing was televised, you know, that we, you know, because we black, and this black people over in Africa, we must have came from there. And because of the white people got control over everything in America, America must be their country. And you know, they was too lazy to farm, so they had to come and get us, the best of us, the kings and the queens, and bring us over here. And that's what we was taught in school. So we correlated all of that with that was our place in the Bible as the Hebrew Israelites, you know, based on that scripture right there. Then if you read the whole chapter of Deuteronomy, the 28th verse, it talks about the blessings and the curses. And when you read that, it breaks down somewhat the experiences that we are going through, that we was going through in America, from slavery all the way up to today. You know, that's the curses, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. One of the things that I notice about it has the people, it just has total confusion. So we had this cat here saying, I believe Black Europeans wrote the Bible. Who cares who wrote it? See, it sends us on these wild goose chases that we're always spinning our wheels and wasting our energy, and there's always somebody there to get that energy. Like now, so like you're in Israel now, and you left in '88. So since you left in '88 to now, there has been a big change. When you left, brothers were on the fish markets in the hood. That's we don't own anything anymore. We don't even really like each other. I mean, seriously, because we're broken down into all these groups. And then those groups are broken down into subgroups, and it's just a whole, oh boy. Okay, so let me ask you this. So here's one of the major things, and this is one of the major ways that they are taking us out now through this LGBTQ whatever. You were here. Was that a really big thing?
Oh no, that was, I mean, man, when I came back to America in 2007, look after my mother, I think they was really starting to get off into that stuff, right?
What year did you say it was?
2007.
Okay.
They was like getting ready to okay same-sex marriages and stuff like that. Did they start that then? I don't recall.
All I can remember when it started getting real big over here is they got this chick on TV named Oprah over here, and everybody loves her. She's a piece of feces to me, but everybody loves her.
Right.
She put out this thing. I think it was way before 2007. Put out this guy on the down low. This guy was talking all that stuff. And after that, it just swept through the community. Plus, they got this cat named Tyler Perry dressing up as a woman. You know how they do that, dress up as a woman. The man is really a bitch. That's what they play. And then when you go into reality, like what you're talking about, and these churches and all these institutions, they're headed up by that subgroup, LGBTQ group. That's a different group from the African American community. It's like but they can't sustain themselves because they don't produce children. So where do they get their children from? They pluck it from the African American community. And I know you're in Israel right now, but if you came to America right now, one of the African American community, they're intellectually they're at zero, and that's being nice. Idiots. I'm so serious.
Yes, I can attest to that because when I went back in 2007 alone, right? I had a cultural shock there. I'm like, what happened to the neighborhoods? What happened to all the stores where these Black people own this store and that store? I saw a lot of Mexicans owning property and lands where my aunts and uncles and cousins and friends own. They rebuilt houses in the neighborhoods, and most of the people that used to be there when I was a kid and everything and I grew up with were gone or dead or whatever. And then the stores, I'm like, why is all these Arabs owning all these little stores in the community? It wasn't like that in '88,
Let me put up two questions in the chat because I can't. It's hard to read the chat and talk to you is kind of difficult. I really need somebody to help. So here's a brother. He wrote his truth from transformation. Why are we giving energy to a subject based on erroneous belief? And this is all I'm gonna say, brother. You see that you have in your mem, your picture, that that's erroneous belief. Because that's all we do is believe erroneous belief. And then we try to make our erroneous belief better than the other erroneous belief. No, cuz we're not giving energy to it. We're just showing how dumb it is, how it fucks our people up, and how that
confuses us. It confuses us.
And this is what I mean, brother. And this is nothing against you, but damn, this is what I mean, us having to figure out stuff ourselves. All this bullshit going on in our community, and we can't call it out. We can't say how dumb this shit is. because we always got somebody, brother. Why are we giving energy to that? Are you serious? And this is where we are. We're supposed to have, what does 2020 mean? Boom. This is the year 2020. What's the first thing to come to mind? Oh, perfect vision. We ain't even on that. We haven't even hit that yet. We still asking dumbass questions. I'm serious. We supposed to see this crystal. I know 5-year-olds that don't question nothing they know. When you get to the Negro, why? I don't know. My shoes was tied last time I looked. We always confused. Matter of fact, you're not a Negro or African American or a black person or any of that. You're not one of those unless you're confused. Brother, these are the things that keeps us twisted to this day. So we having this COVID-19 thing over here. Jesus ain't returned yet. Jesus, nothing. You ain't heard nothing from the church here. And when you ask these shines, well, where's Jesus? They mad. Because you asking them something they talk about every day. Normally you ask a Christian, anytime you open your mouth to a Christian, they come back with some Jesus shit. So now with this COVID on, I'm like, well, where's Jesus at? They mad at me. And they the one who talk about it all the time. That's where we are. This has a question for you, and I think it's interesting. She asks, do you want to come back, or do you ever think about coming back, or what's your outlook on that?
Oh, absolutely. Israel is definitely not my home. I'm an indigenous American Indian for sure. You know, even though I haven't, I still got to get help or figure out how to find out what my maternal grandmother, what clan she from, you know. But I feel in my heart that that's my land over there, and I want it back, and I want to get back in tune with nature and get land for my children over there, so that they can have, before I leave here, they can have inherited something of value and continue on living and building on their country. You know.
Yeah.
But the reason why I'm over here now is because, you know, when I was a Hebrew Israelite and I moved over here, I met and married and birthed my children here, and my children is still here, and we are working on paying off some debt. You know, some of my children have debt, and they won't let you out the country unless you pay off the debt. So we got.
Say that one more time.
My children owe debt, and they won't let you out this country unless you pay off the debt. And so we working on that. My children can't wait to come over to America. You know, even though they keep hearing bad stuff that's going on in the neighborhood over there, and the black people and all of that, and they hesitant. That made them hesitant. But I told them that we going home. We gonna help get our land back and get into a community of like-minded people who want their land back and know who they are. And we're going to work with them. And before I leave this earth, they're going to have some land, and to where they can have their children land and their offspring land, and they can be with their people. because over here in Israel it's mostly white people and people from Ethiopia, and I can't connect with these people over here because they not my people. We totally different culture, different way of thinking. We just different people.
So have your children ever been over here, or they just get the news or anything they know about America from you?
They just get what they hear about America from me. I say positive stuff, even though they keep hearing negative stuff on over the news. I'm like, y'all can't believe what the news say. First of all, they want to make it look so bad that you don't want to go back to your land and take back over. You know, they never been to America. All they know is over here.
But know that their mother, grandmother, grandfather, great grandfather are Americans.
Pardon?
But they know that their mother, their grandmother, grandfathers, all those people are American Indians from over here.
That's right.
Could you imagine what is it like interacting with them being in this strange land, but knowing they're in a place where everybody risks life and limb to get here? They're from here and they're in the middle of a shit desert that's supposed to be holy land.
You know, like I showed them pictures of America, and I showed them pictures of Birmingham, Alabama, where I was staying. I was staying in Warrior, Alabama, and it's plush with trees and grass, and the apartment I was staying in, it was so neat and clean there and quiet. And I showed them that, and they like, "Ooh, that's beautiful." They love trees and grass. Over here is a lot of dirt and desert, and they don't like that. You know what I'm saying? They really hate it over here. They don't feel at home over here at all, and they don't want to be a part of the Hebrew Israelite community because while I was gone, they had some bad experiences. All my daughters has been molested by men.
Not the
grown men,
but not the Hebrew Israelites, right?
By the Hebrew Israelites, the men in the community. Is because the way the community was set up is the men was the head, women they was able to have more than one wife, and the women had to call him Lord and was under their beck and call, and they weren't allowed to tell the man nothing. They had to be quiet and receive instruction from the man, and they got to ask permission from the man if they could do this, that, and the other. And
I'm just thinking of women I know, and if I tell them, okay, from now on you have to call me Lord, the look they'll give me, what? You call you Lord? This is how we train our children. This ain't me, y'all. I know many of y'all mad at me. I know. This is grown men. This is what they teach our women and children. So this is where we are. You've uprooted some people from America, took them over, and I've been to Israel before. It's a shithole. It's a shithole. I don't know how do they get people to believe that's the promised land or whatever they call it?
Our people really believe in that Bible, and they just they teach strictly out the Bible, and everything that they say about the Hebrew Israelites in the Bible, they somehow relate related to the black people in America.
Like how? Give us an example of that.
Let's see. I'm about to go. All right, you can still hear me, right?
I can hear you. I can hear you fine. I just blacked myself out for a minute.
Okay. Let's say I'm gonna start in I'm on Deuteronomy chapter 28. You can still hear me, right?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. I'm gonna read some of these scriptures and see if this here is I mean, I know this is what Ben-Ami had taught us, the curses that would befall these people if they didn't serve the Lord.
We listening? I don't know if we got a the connection to Israel. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Say excuse this to the chat room. This is an Israel over here connection, and it's kind of you know how those can be. So bear with us on that part. She's trying to hook us up. So go ahead, Noga.
Yeah. Here's some example. Okay, he said, and the Lord. Wait a minute.
What chapter and verse you on?
Okay, we gonna start chapter 28, verse 16.
Okay, hold on. Let me get where you at. I just want. Okay, here I come. Okay. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, start at 28:15.
15.
Yeah, start at 28:15. I'm gonna come off of the Bible because y'all won't be able to hear me if I read it.
Okay.
Start there.
Okay. Okay. Let me get it. Okay. Here we go. Curse 15. But it shall come to pass if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of thy Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. See, okay. Curse shall thou be in the city. See, shit like that. I'm right there. Curse thou shalt be in the city, and curse shalt thou be in the field. Damn.
Right.
Curse shall be thy basket, and curse shall be thy store. Can't make no money. Curse shall be the fruit of thy body, and the fruit of thy land, the increase of thy kind, and the flocks of thy sheep. There are no sheep running around in America. But this is what I'm saying. How we get caught in this stupid shit? Cursed shalt thou be when thou comest in, and cursed shalt thou be when thou goest out. For real, cuz? For real? The Lord,
right.
I have a question to ask you, but I want to read this first. The Lord shall send upon thee cursing, vexation, and rebuke, and in all that thou settest thine hand unto for to do, until thou be destroyed, and until thou perish quickly, because of the wickedness of thy doing, whereby thou hast forsaken me. The Lord shall make pestilence cleave unto thee, until he have consumed thee from the land, whither thou goest to possess it. The Lord shall smite thee with a consumption, consumerism. Can I get a witness? and and with inflammation, with an extreme burning, and with the sword, and with blasting, and with mildew, and thou shalt pursue thee till thy perish. This is what we teach our children. And thy heaven that is over thy head shall be brass, and the earth under thy feet shall be iron. The Lord shall make the rain. I'm tired. Really. I'm real. I get it. I get it. I get it. They don't want you to win. They don't want you to win at all. And this is what we teach our children. This is what we teach our children. And then some of us, we try to make it seem like it's cool. We reading it wrong. You don't understand.
Right. They say it's plain. It's plain. Wait a minute. What they say? It's how they put it. It's so simple. A fool can't error. All you have to do is read that and see that we are the people, and everything that particular chapter and verses is saying describes what the black people is going through. You know. So that is us.
Gambino family, thank you for the donation, brother. It's really appreciated. Noga, you know, seriously, why I don't get this whole religious thing, this whole ideology thing, because we see what we go through here in America every day. I don't know if they're doing child trafficking over there where you are, but they have something over here going on over here called child trafficking, where they kidnap young kids and they sell them for body parts, adrenochrome, whatever.
Right.
And they have FBI agents, around in all the major places trying to stop this stuff. And many of them they're trying to do their jobs. And I run into some of the brother FBI agents, and they tell you straight out that the brothers are kidnapping the sisters and selling them to the white boys and to the Arabs. Do you see an influx of that happening over there? Do you see sisters from over here coming over there in large numbers?
No, I don't see it from over here. Like I stay in Dimona, Israel. It's like a little town. And at first, before the Hebrews came here, it wasn't much of nothing to look at. But when the Hebrews came here, and they had set up their village in Dimona, and we used to wear these beautiful colored African garbs, and we used to have our little fairs and stuff, and celebrate the holidays, the Jewish holidays and stuff. They would drive by and view us, and now today they done built this town into a big city now. I come back, they done built so many houses and everything here in Dimona when it was barely an item on the map when I first came here in '88. But what was the question I was answering? I'm sorry.
Well, people over here, we have a problem. We have a lot of what they're doing. They're doing a depopulation campaign over here now. Most of the so-called African Americans are so dumb they don't even realize it's going on. They don't care. But what the FBI agents tell you, you talk to them because you see it, You see them, and some of the brothers you see that are police, that are working in some of these agents, they know that these agencies are fucked up, but that's how they eat. And they'll tell you what's happening. And with the trafficking, they're trafficking young women over here because the sisters over here are just off the hook. They hate men. They do what they want. They make their money selling pussy. And, you know, and they're an easy prey because anybody that want to give them some money for a blowjob, they'll go with them. And that's how they get them. But we don't teach our children nothing. We don't teach them who they are. So anybody can come tell them anything to get them. But everybody's mad at me because I'm bringing this up. Dude, I live off one of the major corridors of the child trafficking, and it's wide open. It's wide open. So they're taking these sisters, little young kids, and they're selling them for body parts, livers, hearts, whatever. Adrenochrome. I know you're familiar with adrenochrome.
Yes.
They're doing all of this stuff, and our children are being used because, and this is what, you know, why African Americans, I think, is important, because you are the resources of America. Stones aren't just resources. Trees aren't just resources. Diamonds are not just resources. Copper is not just resources. You are resources. But when you think you're a Hebrew Israelite, a Christian, a Greek, or any of these motherfuckers that's telling you some dumb shit, when you think that you're that, anybody can pick you up, and that's what's happening. And I'm sure it's been happening for the past 900 years, or however you count this thing. And we just la 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 la, like nothing's happening, like nothing's going on. So I was asking, are you seeing an influx of girls from America? Are you seeing an influx of girls from America come over that way?
Oh no, I don't. I don't. Over here, it's pretty quiet. You know, everybody is just living like nothing is happening over here. You know, I haven't been keeping up with the news like that, and because nothing like that right now is happening over here. You know, if it was, I would have gotten that. You know.
Yeah, well, it's they have something. And you know, you can go to African American St. Africans on Facebook, or go to our website, African American St. Africans.us, and you can share some of the information there with your children, give them a little insight into themselves. And this is what I will pass on to you. This is something you can, you know, tell your kids that you heard from one of the brothers over there at home. You know, that religion we really didn't get into. We just followed nature, and we did what nature kind of led us to do, because we understood that's how we got our clothes, that's how we got our food, that's how we used the materials to build our homes and stuff. So we followed that. But one of the stories, especially down here in the South, is that of Anoia. And the story of Anoia was the children were once the stars. We were the stars. Right. And we came down in the earth, and the stars hit with so much impact into the earth. When they came out of the ground, they just laid on the earth to dry off. It's a cool story. And it's one of the many stories that are told to us that we don't pass on, or we don't know about. I ain't never heard that, huh? You know, that we have that type of mentality. We never knew nothing, you know, and we never know nothing, because all we know is this dumb shit that we're taught in these religions and these other ideologies, and it keeps us dumb all the way around. You know, so I mean, that's one. I'm gonna let you go. That's just one of the stories you can tell with your children. Tell them to check out a story of Anoia in America. It's a cool story. And these were just guidelines that we followed, to stay on our mind all the time. They weren't no religion where you had to bow down and kiss the feet. Nah. But there's stories that they should know about their people back at home. Being
Yeah.
and I think it'll help you with what you want to do and getting your children home quickly. Because the people of America, and this is why everybody rushes over here and take the identity. That's why the African American identity is always changing. Everybody over here, they call themselves some prefix American, but they never call themselves just American. Why? Because that's you. Though that's your children. Your children are Americans. So they can drive, people through your community like a school, look and point at you and say, look, they're going American over here in Israel. I mean, that's the way I see it. It might not be like that, but that's just the way I see it. They know you're not from there.
Yes, they do. When I came back over here last year, and I was telling them about us being Indians and everything, they have no problem whatsoever. And they was born over here in Israel, in the Hebrew Israelite community. They left the Hebrew Israelite community because they had too much bad experience, and a lot of stuff they was talking about in the Bible just don't make no sense to them. And they was only raised as Hebrew Israelites. They don't know nothing about Jesus, Christianity. They don't know nothing about the Bible. And when I told them we was American Indians, because we came, they grandparents, their great grandparents, and their great great grandparents was born over in America, and they were Indian. They like, yes, that's right, and they want to come over there and meet their family, and be on the land. They hate it over here,
So what the general population over there? What's the sentiment of the general population? What is everybody feeling like over there?
A lot of they, the general population over here love Black music. They like America, the culture of the Black people, the hairstyle, the locks, the music, the food. They want to be like us over there. These white Jews and Arabs over here, and a lot of them wants to date and marry us and stuff like that. They love Black people over here from America. The ones that's from Ethiopia, they dog them out, And
so what's up with them?
The Ethiopians,
yeah.
To me, I can't relate to them people at all. They definitely ain't our people. They have their own ways and culture and everything, and they want to be like Black people from America and stuff like that too. At first, they was told by the Israeli government or whatever to stay away from us. Now they can't stay away from us now. The Hebrew Israelites in the community, the youth that was born from the Hebrew Israelite, a lot of the first wave of the Hebrew Israelites that came here in 1967. First, Ben and me took them to Liberia, the first wave to Liberia, to prepare them to live in Israel, and they left without much of nothing, maybe clothes on their back, and they lived in the bush in Liberia, they put it,
Yeah, oh Africa, huh?
Right, Africa.
But Noga, check this out. We coming up on an hour. And what I want to be able to do, I want to be able to share this, what we're doing, far and wide. And a lot of the platforms that I use, they only give you about an hour, an hour worth of content. So can we go ahead and close it down here and come back whenever? I know all the partying and stuff going on in Israel, you probably won't have time.
Shoot,
But can we?
I don't get caught up with these people over here because they just as ignorant as the people over there. They doing their thing, living like nothing else matter, only what they like to do.
Well, listen, we want you to come back because I haven't even begun asking you the questions I wanted to ask you because I've been getting some questions from some friends and they've been saying, "Ooh, ask her this," and you've been forthright and coming with it. So I want to get these questions out to you. So can we come back another day, soon, that we can call this part 2? Is that okay?
Absolutely. Whenever you set it up, I'm here.
Okay. It's 2 things I want to leave you with is what you said. I would send you some music over there, but the music today, they playing is shit. The second thing I want to tell you, the music that I would tell you to listen to, I'll just tell your kids to pull up this song. It's from the 1970s, and you'll remember this one. It's from Bootsy Collins, I Can't Stay Away From Your Love. And just as a little, tell me how often they play it when they hear it.
Okay.
Okay, so listen, I'm gonna be talking to you real soon, but we're gonna do part 2 of this so we can get to the question and answer part.
Yeah.
All right. Noga, I really, really appreciate your time. And y'all, it's like 5 o'clock in the morning over there. And this sister stood up with us to share with us. So I really, really appreciate you, Noga.
Oh, my pleasure, and I'm honored, and I'm camera shy, but I pat myself on the back for doing this.
Oh, I pat you on the back too. I really appreciate it. So we'll be in touch and we'll be back in a few days.
Okay.
Okay, love. Thank you.
Oh, you're more than welcome.
All right.
Anytime.
All right. So check, y'all. We have people all over the world like that. We have brothers and sisters living in Spain, Germany, South America, and we can learn, and these people can teach us from these platforms that we have, because it's like the brother was telling us the other night that was sharing with us. You are the most studied people on the planet. Why you think everybody's coming over here getting your resources? Why you think everybody leaving their homes to come over here to yours? Why you think all these men are coming over here to impregnate your women, men, or what you call men? Why are they having babies with your women? Why? So they can get a foothold in your land. And how brothers treat sisters? We losing, cuz. We losing. And we look dumb as hell. I don't care what color tie you got on. I don't care if you're wearing your Make America Great Again cap and all this dumb shit that we doing. And sisters, you just as guilty too, because these are the sons you raise. These are the men you get pregnant by. Georgia Guidestone states, we got to get rid of these shines. And y'all making it easy. Y'all don't care. You don't give a fuck. And these people over here taking your children, your land. You can't even make medicine from your own land. For real, cuz? You would do what a doctor who will kill you quicker than a cop will do. This is where we are. So I'm gonna have the sisters back because she got some stuff. She gonna tell you some stuff that y'all gonna be like, damn. But remember, we do this. This is what we do. And I count myself into it too because I'm virtually powerless. No, I'm not. It's stopping because if we go off the planet goes off. Thank you guys for sitting with us tonight. We're going to have the sister back in a couple of days and we'll see you real soon. Peace.